President Donald Trump accidentally disclosed information about the war with Iran today, and just two of his phrases caused a real uproar in the US Congress, where even the Republicans eventually passed a resolution obliging Donald Trump to immediately end the war against Iran and bring American troops home. This is the first successful condemnation by Congress of Trump's military actions against Iran after numerous unsuccessful attempts by the Democrats. But this time, the initiative unexpectedly came from the Republicans themselves, and this showed how even his own party is losing patience. But what exactly did Donald Trump do to anger his Republican Party so much? First of all, the day before, Iran attacked Kuwait with missiles again, and one of them hit the airport, which had only recently been restored after previous attacks. And then Donald Trump stated that the United States of America deliberately provoked Iran into retaliatory actions in the region so that no one would let their guard down. Secondly, Trump admitted that he exaggerated when he said that American troops would enter Iran and take all the enriched uranium. He says that he was simply misunderstood. And thirdly, contrary to Trump's words, Iran today officially stated again that it is not conducting any negotiations with the United States, as was stated a few days ago. My name is Alexei Pecci. Let's discuss this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, like this episode, leave any comment under this video, and subscribe to my Telegram channel. Pecci News, the link to it is in the description of this video. So, it seems that the Republicans in Congress are tired of Trump's behavior regarding the war with Iran, and recently the House of Representatives passed a resolution to limit Trump's military powers concerning Iran. 215 congressmen voted for the document, while 208 voted against it. The resolution calls on Trump to stop using US armed forces in combat operations against Iran, or any part of its armed forces or government, unless Congress officially declares war or passes a separate authorization for the use of military force. Interestingly, ahead of the vote in the House of Representatives, Speaker Mike Johnson, a Republican, urged Republicans to oppose this, but some Republicans did not listen. And if the resolution is passed in the Senate, where, according to available data, it is supported by 50 out of 100 senators, Trump will have to either withdraw troops from Iran, that is, from the region, or get congressional approval for war. The White House has already made it clear that it doesn't care about this resolution, saying that it's not up to some congressmen to decide what to do. Trump, they say, knows better how to act. And in reality, the resolution is unlikely to actually make Trump suddenly withdraw troops from the Middle East. But don't jump to conclusions, because Trump's problems are just beginning. Let's just say this was the first warning sign. And his own reaction to the vote in the House of Representatives shows it. He was clearly following this vote because just a few minutes after the resolution was passed, he made a post. I'll quote him next. During the meaningless vote, the House of Representatives voted. 4 bad Republicans and all the Democrats voted to limit my military powers right in the middle of my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Who could do such an unpatriotic thing? They know what stage the negotiations are at. The Democrats are driven by Trump derangement syndrome. They would rather see our country fail than give me another one of the many more. Еще одну из многих победу. But for Republicans is a completely different story. They're posers. They should be ashamed of themselves. But it's already clear that this vote in the House of Representatives has become a vivid demonstration of how much Republicans seem to be losing patience with Trump and his politically destructive war. It was a sign that a small but clearly significant number of Republicans are unwilling to give him time to find a way out of the situation. As a result, Trump is increasingly finding himself in a hopeless situation and is starting to make mistakes because of it. The day before, he made 2 very revealing and scandalous statements about the war against Iran. Yesterday he stated, quote, "The Iranians were a little provoked because we took decisive action for another reason, so they were reciprocating to that. There is a reason for everything, and we hit them pretty hard the night before and actually last night as well." When Trump was asked whether these mutual missile strikes between the US and Iran could be considered a violation of the ceasefire, he replied, quote, "You know, in that part of the world, a ceasefire is when you shoot. but in a more moderate manner. And now the context of what Trump said, which is just hair-raising. On June 3, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps carried out a raid on Kuwait using ballistic missiles and Shahed 136 drones. Iranian munitions crashed into the civilian terminal T1 of Kuwait International Airport. As a result of the detonation, one person was killed and another 63 people were injured. And in this situation, Trump doesn't criticize Iran, doesn't criticize the enemy for firing rockets at a civilian airport, but says, listen, what did you expect? The Iranians were already provoked by the American troops with their strikes, so they struck back in response. He says, well, yes, we provoked them. It was a retaliatory action. So, well, Iran shouldn't be condemned for striking the airport in Kuwait. But that's not all. Donald Trump admitted that he simply exaggerated when he said that US soldiers would enter Iranian facilities and extract nuclear material from there. Now, Trump says that actually, what difference does it make what happens with that enriched uranium, because American B-2 bombers, quote, destroyed everything there. But, friends, I just want to give you Trump's full quote, because this is already, some kind of mockery. Trump says that the US destroyed the nuclear facilities, completely buried the uranium there, but, quote, nevertheless, I want to get that uranium. Only we and probably China are the only two countries that have the equipment to do this, so yes, I want to get it. At different times we had different agreements with Iran. They've changed their mind several times, but at the moment it's assumed that we'll go in there in the not too distant future. I emphasize it's assumed. That is, he himself doesn't know yet. It's very safe there now. We have satellites. Every corner of all three facilities is under constant surveillance. If someone comes there, we'll definitely see what's happening and strike again if necessary. But as for extracting that material, the B-2 bombers have done the job. At night, with no moon, in complete darkness, at about 1 in the morning, they dropped those bombs. Pretty much the biggest bombs that exist. They hit right into the ventilation shafts. It's very difficult to get that material out, but I still want to do it, and I don't want to do it while the conflict is ongoing. I don't want to put our people in that kind of danger. I remember what serious problems Jimmy Carter had in Iran with the hostages. I never want to put our people in a situation like that. But when it's all over, there is currently an agreement that we will go in there together. With them, we will extract that material and destroy it. It will be destroyed. Well, here's the climax of this whole story. The head of Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abbas Araghchi, in response to Donald Trump's words that negotiations with Iran are going very well, today plainly stated there is currently no official negotiation process between Iran and the United States. There is no tangible progress in the dialogue, as Donald Trump claimed. How did Trump respond to this? He didn't. He just shifted attention to other topics. And while everyone is wondering how it happened that, as Trump himself said, 4 to 6 weeks of war turned into endless negotiations, in which he himself says that today we agreed on one thing, tomorrow on another, and the day after tomorrow perhaps, the negotiations will be completely different, and in general, no one knows where all this will lead, including Donald Trump himself. I'll leave it at that. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below this episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so financially by donating through the links and details in the description of this video or by using the QR code on your screen. I would appreciate your support. And, friends, let me remind you that I now have an exclusively Ukrainian language YouTube channel, so if you want to get information in Ukrainian, the link to that channel is in the description of this video. Go check it out and be sure to subscribe. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.